Alright, hello everybody, my name's Brandon. I have been playing with this Yeedi Mop Station Pro for about 2 or 3 weeks now. This has been the primary vacuuming and mopping device in my house, and I'm here to kind of give you a rundown of the device, go over just about everything that it can do, talk about the mobile application, and of course talk about my experience actually using it for the better part of the last month. And this thing is an absolute unit. I've never had a little robot cleaning device go around my house, but the one thing I do have to say, it is definitely wife approved. So first of all, the general unboxing experience of this thing was nice. Everything was in its own separate compartment and separate box within the main box. And it's nice to the point that I actually kept all the boxes that it came with, stored it, so if I ever move this thing around, it's going to be super easy and simple. For now, I have this basket here with most of the stuff that it actually came with. Comes with this little scrubber to go ahead and clean this out inside. I'm going to talk about that in just a minute. Of course, it came with these two mop heads here. There you go. You can see that when it actually mops, it uses pressure, so it kind of pushes down and kind of buffs your floors. So it's super cool. This right here is the actual cartridge for the mopping unit. And there's a whole nother cartridge that's currently installed for vacuuming only, which is really nice. I mostly have carpet here, so I've primarily been using the vacuum only mode. But a couple different times I've used the mop feature, which is super nice. Just let it go through, clean all the kitchen floors as a self-cleaning station. Well, this is the self-cleaning station, which, again, I'm going to be diving into that just a bit. Extra little mop things, just in case if you need to replace those. And of course, you got all your manuals and whatnot. This little quick start guide here is incredibly helpful. And actually setting this guy up with the mobile application, all that, super easy. It actually has a little camera here on the top that you actually use on the application to scan a QR code. There's a QR code on it as well, and that will make it so everything will sync up properly, and then you can control everything from the application. So, getting into the actual unit, pulling it out here, it's your typical, looks like a Roomba robot. It's not too heavy. It has some pretty heavy-duty steering device here. The wheels are nice. And right here on the corner, we have this extra little brush, which is really handy because as it goes around and it's sweeping, it will pull in some things that would have missed otherwise right into this little vacuuming brush. Which one thing I like about this vacuuming brush, if you've used a majority of vacuums, you have to use like a screwdriver and everything to pop out this little thing right here, the brush. This, you just pop this off, this comes off, and then you could go ahead and pull out the brush to get cut off any hair or whatever happens to get tangled in it. Now additionally, there's sensors all over the place, so it can easily detect if it like falls off of something, which it's really good at not doing that. And the little plate here on the front, it's very sensitive to touching, so if it's going to run into anything, it will hit this little pressure plate, and it has multiple sensors here, so it can actually figure out what it's hitting and work around it. Also here on the front, there's various sensors that will detect the light and all that. Overall, it's pretty good, and it is pet and animal friendly. My son actually likes to chase this around the house. He's at the crawling stage, so he'll hit on it and fight with it and all that, and it hasn't hurt him or done any damage whatsoever. Right here on the back, this is the cartridge. Like I said, it has the vacuum cartridge currently. There's just a guy right here. You go ahead and pull this off, and it completely comes out. Now, the main difference between the vacuum only and the mopping cartridge, the vacuum only has a lot more space to go ahead and store dust, dirt, hair, whatever it may be, while the mopping one has a much smaller cartridge to actually store that stuff, but it also has these guys right here, which you just go ahead and plug in these mops into. These ones right here, they only go one way, so it's pretty hard to screw it up. Now, focusing more of our attention onto this guy here. This is our main docking station / charger. This does it all. With the actual mopping unit, unlike a lot of other products that are on the market, this does not carry around water with it. All the water is stored in here. As you can see right here, this is the clean water tank. And it also has a dirty water tank where it will kind of clean out and cycle all the water through it. So basically what happens when it is in mop mode, it will go ahead and drive up on here. Clean water will go into this little reservoir right here. And there's actually these really nice grooved divots that these mops will actually go on and kind of clean themselves on with the clean water. Dirty water will get pumped into the dirty water disposal tank, and then with the saturated mops with clean water, it will go through your house, do a couple swipes through, then it will go back to the mopping station, clean itself again, and then go and finish the process of whatever it was doing. And this thing will get a little dirty and grimy, so that's what you use this brush for is there's a button right here that you can press that will automatically cycle water through it. It'll dump some clean water in there. You could go ahead and give it a quick scrub down, and then after, I'm not sure the exact time, probably about 30 seconds or so, it will then suck in the dirty water that you just agitated into that disposal tank. And of course, when it is docked, it backs into it, so the cartridge side is the side facing in. Obviously, because the little mopper things are right here, it needs to be able to clean it out. But right here are some little metal plates that it makes a connection to go ahead and actually charge up your device. And when it comes to the actual charge, at least in vacuum only mode, it can do my entire house, which is roughly 1100 square feet on a single charge. It ends up having about 30-40% left. But of course, if it is going to die, it's going to recognize that at about 20% and make its way back automatically to the docking station to recharge, in which it will go ahead and pick up wherever it left off on your cleaning cycle, which you set up all throughout the application. Now, as far as my experience and how well it cleans, it actually does a pretty good job. I mean, this is what the cartridge looked like after sweeping through the house a couple times, and granted, this has been running probably every day at least one time throughout my entire house, and it still picks up a good amount of stuff. And then as for the mop mode, I'll just go ahead, pop off the vacuum cartridge, throw on the mopping cartridge, and then send it off in the kitchen to go ahead and mop up. And the very first time I ran this, I thought we were doing a pretty good job, but just in one pass through of the entire kitchen, the water in the disposal tank was dark. It was kind of gross in a good way, though. That means it did a good job of cleaning it all up. And even big messes here, like there was a little incident where there was some barbecue spilled. Good opportunity to go ahead and record and see how well it did. And it went ahead. It was sitting there for maybe half hour, 45 minutes, and it picked it up one swipe with ease. There's other videos on YouTube of people testing this out, and with things a little more hardened on, it takes a couple passes, but it still does the trick. And one thing that's really cool is when it is in mop mode, it will automatically detect if there is carpet there, so it won't take those wet mops onto carpet. It will stop itself, turn around, and it kind of does this thing, especially when you first set it up and it hasn't kind of drawn the map of your house yet. It will go through and just kind of corner tap everything throughout the entire edge of your house while it draws that map. And another thing that's really appreciated when it is in vacuum only mode, it can actually detect whether it's on hardwood or a hard surface floor, or if it's on carpet. So the actual vacuum pressure will go to full max pressure when it is on carpet, and it will kind of ease up a little bit when it is on hardwood floor. So with that, what I'm going to do for the rest of this video is I'm going to go set this up where it originally was in the house, so then I can open up the app and kind of show you how the thing works. The app is kind of a hit or miss in some categories, but overall it's a fairly decent experience. Alright, so I went ahead, plugged it in out in the dining room, and here we are on the mobile application. So when you first open it up, this is what you see. This is your Yeedi Pro. You can do clean, and you can see what it's doing, which it's currently charging. You can see I have 3 new messages. I got quite a bit here since I was kind of moving it around and whatnot for recording. It gives you notifications for cleaning the tanks, if the robot comes off the floor, if the cleaning that you set it to do is complete, things like that. Basic notifications, and you can customize those as well. Now, if we go ahead and tap on the robot, we can see a map of my home. It does a fairly decent job. You can see right here the lighter color, so like the white where this is surrounded by the like very light blue. That is where it knows for sure that it can clean. And it's kind of cool because the robot, if there's something in the way at whatever moment, if it's doing an auto clean or whatever, it will go around it, and then if it knows for sure it's somewhere that it's been able to clean in the past, it'll actually go back and check to see if it can clean there later on. But this is the map that it made, and like I said earlier, it does this by initially, when you do the very first auto clean, going around, and it takes it quite a while to go and hit all the edges throughout your entire house, but it does a pretty good job of drawing it out. And like right here, you can see this red boundary. That is an artificial boundary where I do not allow it to go, because that's where my couch is. I have a slightly elevated couch, so it goes under there and gets stuck sometimes. So that's why I set that boundary, and again, that works pretty good. Now, if I go over to edit map, a con I have with this is it's kind of touchy to go ahead and edit some of these. So if I go ahead and zoom in on this, I click on virtual boundary, I tap this, I can go ahead and grab it, but if I want to set a really specific spot, it's challenging sometimes. And then what you have to do when you add a boundary like that, you then have to kind of set the vacuum to go to that specific area to see where the boundary is, which, by the way, if I go ahead and save this, well, first, of course, you could label your areas, which I do wish they had custom labels, because if I hit label area, and like, let's say right here, this blue one is a bathroom, give that a tap, you can see the options we have available are not much. And for example, this one up on top, I have it set as the study when it's really the room I'm in right now. This is the office. So I wish I had a little bit more flexibility and customization with that. Going back to here, some things I like about it is we have auto clean, which will go through the rooms, and you can see some of these have numbers. We have 1, 2, 3, and so on and so forth. That's the order of priority. So when I start a fresh auto clean, it will go and hit those rooms first, which is very nice. If we select area clean, I can have it go to just a specific room, clean that room, and head back to the station. So if something was spilled, or you just know a room needs vacuumed now, you could send it to that room, have it do its thing, and then go back to the station. And then custom right here is what I was kind of talking about. We have this little square here that we can go and set in a very specific area. For example, over here is the kitchen. I was using this a lot a little while ago, kitchen and dining room. I was using this a little while ago when I was recording the footage for the mopping. I just set it in this area and it did its thing. It was perfect. And then down here we have some cleaning preferences. So clean, we have 1x or 2, vacuum power, water flow level, the sequences, which I was just mentioning, the schedule. So if I go in here, I can set specific schedules, which I haven't done yet because I like to kind of start it in the morning when I feel like having it run. So if I go back from there, additionally, if we go down, we have the robot voice. It's pretty good about telling you what's going on. If it gets something tangled in a wheel, it will say, please check the wheels. It's pretty good about letting you know. So you have options for the voice and languages there, and then some additional cleaning settings, which right here, that's what it's talking about, the auto boost suction. So it'll automatically go max power when it is detecting carpet. Do not disturb modes or times, I have that set so it doesn't just want to start up in the middle of the night. And then we have resumed clean, which is that feature that I said if it's running through a clean, halfway through it needs to charge, it will go through, it'll go back, charge, and then finish where it went ahead and left off. Now with this, I do wish you could kind of customize the walls, for example, like right here, where this little icon of a couch is, it thinks this like number 4 is one room, when in reality it's my living room, dining room, kitchen, and hallway. So I wish you could put in some custom extra boundaries there that are permanent. But like right here where that 4 is, that's kind of a little entryway there, but it's usually blocked off by a gate because I have children and animals and whatnot, and it kind of keeps them in a certain area. But really that's me getting kind of picky there. You probably already saw the battery there, it's at 59% and it's charging. And if I wanted to start, for example, I'd go down, I could see right where it's at, where the docking station is. I would just go ahead and hit this play button and it would take it a sec and then it would begin. So now we can see it kind of moving, headed out, and it kind of traces its path of where it's cleaned. So if we go ahead and just give it a little bit to kind of move around a bit, there we go. We can kind of see the blue line that's following it so you can see where it's already cleaned. Now with this being the first priority, it's going to skip everything and drive directly to that room. Super nice, super handy. And then up here it gives you all kinds of statistics such as the square footage cleaned and history. If we go over here, we could find more accessories, refer friends, more settings, things like that. If we go ahead and hit the 3 dots on the top, we can see some more stuff we could do. So we have the accessory usage, the side brush, that's what that little sweeper guy is called. That one out of anything is the one that's definitely gotten the most wear, but you could always get replacement parts if they go out pretty quick. And then right here, our cleaning log. So we can see the total area cleaned since I went ahead and installed it, 12,000 square feet, meaning it's gone through my house, my entire house at least 12 times at this point. 62 cleans, 32 hours of cleaning, and then we could get really specific here with some specific cleans. So like this one was from earlier today, mopping, did just that little kitchen section there. And then you could see history. I don't know why you'd want to see a specific history of cleans, but honestly, why not? It's kind of cool to be able to see that on there. And really, that's about it. It's really a wonderful product. If you're somebody who has, like, let's say your entire living room, kitchen, dining room, and a couple other rooms all have hardwood floor, tile floor, whatever it may be, this is like almost a must-have product if you're like keeping your place looking good. Or even like me, if you're mostly carpet and you don't mind switching this out every once in a while to do your to do the mopping tasks, it works really good. I've definitely enjoyed having it. I would recommend it to just about anybody. And out of any of the competitors on the market, this just seems like as the features that I want. It's the one that you really don't have to mess around with too much, other than changing that disposal tank if you're using the mopping feature, or changing out the emptying out this thing, whether if you're using vacuum only or the mopping cartridge. So with that, if you are interested in purchasing it, I will have a Amazon affiliate link down below and other links if you don't feel like using that. Um, with all that, if you like tech videos, check out my other channel, Tech Hut. If you want to see more product reviews and general videos like this, make sure you subscribe and you ring that bell. With all that, I do hope you have an absolutely beautiful day, and goodbye.